Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to Canal Algérie's nightly news. To the headlines. The President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, holds a phone call with his Portuguese counterpart to inquire about his health state. On the eve of the annual ceremony of its class's graduation, Army General, Chief of Staff of the People's National Army, Saïd Chengriha, visits the Military Academy of Shershel. Thousands of Algerian families across the country benefit from new housing units, notably young people. $13 billion is the figure non-hydrocarbon exports in Algeria are expected to reach by the end of 2023, a major stride in an unprecedented dynamic in the sector, which reflects the commitment of the President of the Republic to overcome dependency on hydrocarbon exports. Lastly, we cover the cultural event organized by the Embassy of Tanzania in Algeria on the occasion of the International Swahili Language Day, the most spoken language in Africa. Welcome back. First off, the President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, held on Saturday a phone call with the President of the Republic of Portugal, a friendly country, Marcelo Rebelo de Sousa, during which he inquired about his health following an illness. For his part, the Portuguese President thanked the President of the Republic for this kind initiative. In order to embody the strategy of the state, which aims to promote the housing sector, an ambitious housing distribution program was adopted that primarily young people benefited from. Reactions and more with Ahlam Galman Miaqad and Sabrin Tafrginit.
The benefiters from the housing distribution program touch significantly the category of young people, a crucial step in the housing sector, since this eagerly awaited housing units lists included 25 years old Algerians. A figure compared with the age range of the benefiters of the 2013 AABL housing distribution that mostly included 50 years old. I am very thankful to be part of the benefiters from this housing distribution, and we just received our keys. This will attract numerous opportunities for us, including a future for my family. The crucial role played by this promising social category is part of the President's roadmap, aiming to enhance the social gains for an effective, sustainable development. As a benefiter, this brings stability and safety within our souls. Today, we've benefited from rural construction decisions. It's more than appreciated, and I hope that everyone will benefit from it. 150,000 housing units were distributed this year, a number that embodies the continued state's efforts deployed in this sector for the benefit of citizens.
Army General Saïd Chengriha, Chief of Staff of the People's National Army, visited on Saturday the Military Academy of Shershel, bearing the name of the late President Houari Boumediene, on the eve of the annual ceremony for class's graduation. Rania Al-Bahri.
After the reception ceremony, the General of the Army, Saïd Chengriha, accompanied by the Commander of the Land Forces, the Commander of the 1st Military Region, and the Commander of the Military Academy of Shershel, presided over an orientation meeting with the executives, professors, and students of the Academy, where he delivered an orientation speech and expressed his happiness at being in the Military Academy of Shershel, bearing the name of the late President Houari Boumediene, on the eve of class's graduation for the academic year 2022-2023.
الدفعات للسنة الدراسية 2022-2023 لأنني أعتبر هذا الصرح التكويني العريق ودون مبالغة.
The Army General considered that this ancient edifice as the mirror that reflects the great strides that our Army has made in the building of its military capabilities. Not only its history and symbolism, but also because it is a crucible in which all weapons and forces come together, and in which the basic military concepts of our military future elites unite. In the same context, the Lieutenant General added that the High Command of National People's Army, under the directives, instructions, and support of the President of the Republic, Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces, Minister of National Defense Abdelmajid Tebboune, made all the necessary efforts to add more quality in performance, efficiency, and professionalism, not only to training system, but rather on all components of the armed forces, in order to achieve high readiness, which is appropriate for a professional army, whose motto is to defend the people and the homeland, and whose ambition is to occupy leadership ranks at the regional and territorial level. Finally, and on the sidelines of this visit, the Army General inaugurated some facilities that provide many services that would contribute to provide all the appropriate conditions for the students of the Academy.
In economy, $13 billion is a figure that non-hydrocarbon exports in Algeria is expected to achieve by the end of 2023. A figure that reflects diversity in Algeria's economy, concretizing the commitment of the President of the Republic to overcome dependency on hydrocarbon exports in this promising sector. Let's discover more with Sabrine Tafirkidnit.
The President's policy for reviving the national economy and freeing it from dependency on hydrocarbons is becoming more and more tangible, represented by the latest figures. Algeria's non-hydrocarbon exports are witnessing an unprecedented momentum, rising from $1.7 billion in 2019 to $7 billion in 2022. A number of $13 billion will be reached by the end of the current year. These tangible figures are embodying the commitments of the President of the Republic, who has made it a top priority to get out of the hydrocarbon-based economy. After his election, the head of state took the lead with a crucial decision to adopt the petrochemical industry and develop the industrial and agriculture sectors. The President Abdelmajid Tebboune is implementing one of his key commitments, namely to diversify exports according to the new economic recovery plan. Measures has been put in place to encourage exporters, in addition to mobilizing all means with a view to diversify exports. Despite the global economic recession linked to the spread of the COVID-19 pandemic, Algeria has been able to achieve over $5 billion in non-hydrocarbon exports by the end of 2021. Food, agriculture and petrochemical products, building materials, plastic, rubber, glass, paper, pharmaceutical products, textile and household appliances were among the main sectors that saw a significant raise in exports. In 2022, the President of the Republic has announced a new objective to achieve $7 billion in non-hydrocarbon exports, a year that was marked by an economic recovery with the implementation of numerous investment codes, a commitment honored by the President Tebboune, since 2022 was marked by the launch of several vital projects alongside the promulgation of the new investment code. These historic achievements have made it possible to set a new, more ambitious target. Given Algeria's potential, the key objective is to achieve $13 billion in non-hydrocarbon exports this year, a target that is perfectly achievable, thanks to the country's production capacities in terms of quality and competitive prices, and the political will to encourage national production and increase exports. Numerous commitments and promising prospects are set by the President of the Republic. These decisions have been widely welcomed by operators and experts, who recalled all the administrative and customs facilities made available by the state, in addition to the finance support provided by the opening of Algerian banks in Paris, Nouakchott and Dakar. This should enable Algeria to become a leader in exports, in particular to Africa, Arab and Mediterranean countries.
Tasked by the President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, and in the framework of a work visit to the Islamic Republic of Iran, the Minister of Foreign Affairs and the National Community Abroad, Ahmed Attaf, was received by the President of the Islamic Republic of Iran, Ibrahim Raisi, at the premises of the Iranian presidency. The Minister of Foreign Affairs transmitted the greetings of the President of the Republic to his brother, the President Ibrahim Raisi, in the message in which he reiterated the convergence in views of both presidents through their phone conversations on concrete steps consolidating the Algerian-Iranian relations and Algeria's support to the new dynamics of the Arab-Iranian relations. In the same context, the Minister of Foreign Affairs and the National Community Abroad, Ahmed Attaf, held a working meeting with his Iranian counterpart, Hussein Amir Abdullahian, during which both parties reviewed bilateral relations and their perspectives, as well as the latest developments at the regional and international levels, such as the current crisis in international relations and the decolonization of Palestine and Western Sahara. Pursuant to the instructions of the President of the Republic, the National Program for the Reinforcement of the Cereal Capacity was launched on Saturday by the Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development in Ain Difla in order to reach 9 million tons before the end of 2025. More details with Yasin Hamdi.
This is one of the most important programs launched by the government since the independence of the country in order to increase the cereal storage capacity. It was launched in Ain Difla by the Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development, Mohamed Abdel Hafid Hani. This program will optimize the production capacity of cereals and pulses and reach the 9 million of tons before the end of 2025.
نحن هنا اليوم في ولاية عين دفلة.
This strategic program aims to strengthen the storage capacities. It's one of the most important programs launched by the government since the independence to increase the cereal storage capacity. There are 16 silos, and each one of them can contain 250,000 quintals. This strategic program aims to strengthen the storage capacities. It's one of the most important programs launched by the government since the independence to increase the cereal storage capacity. There are 16 silos, and each one of them can contain 250,000 quintals. The province of Ain Difla works to produce 1.4 million quintals of cereal. Boumedfa will produce 1 million quintals. 400,000 will be produced across 8 municipalities in the province. This will obviously increase the cereal production, an important aspect of the economical growth of the province. During his visit, the minister led the first zone of the construction of a strategic complex for the storage of 200,000 quintals in Al-Attaf.
Internationally, in the Sahrawi file, a twinning and friendship agreement between Bajdour province and cities from the province of the Italian Parma, and this during proceedings of the second forum of twinnings held in the city of Bologna, where many Italian cities and provinces reiterated their support for the Sahrawi people and their right to self-determination, demanding the United Nations and the international community to apply international legitimacy. The ministerial meeting of the non-aligned movement reaffirmed at the end of its proceedings in Baku in Azerbaijan the constant position of the movement in favor of the right of the Sahrawi people to self-determination in accordance with the principles of the UN charters and resolutions, as well as international legitimacy related to decolonization. The final document dedicated many relevant resolutions for political solution accepted by both parties. Therefore, this position categorically rejects the Moroccan allegations that the Sahrawi issue was not at the agenda of the movement. The final document was unanimously adopted by the member states of the movement, including Morocco, represented by its ambassador to the UN in New York. The Secretary General of the United Nations, Antonio Guterres, maintains position condemning of the Zionist entity's excessive use of power in Jenin. When asked by journalists to find out if this condemnation applies specifically to the Zionist entity, Antonio Guterres responded that this condemnation applies to all excessive use of force. Clearly, in the Zionist occupation forces' excessive use of force, the United Nations urged member states to increase the funding for more than 2 million Palestinians as they assess urgent needs in the wake of the recent Zionist aggression on Jenin in its refugee camp in the occupied West Bank. The International Swahili Day was celebrated on Friday at the Embassy of Tanzania in Algeria. It is the most spoken language in Africa. This day, which is instituted by UNESCO, highlights the heritage of this African language. On this occasion, the embassy announced to offer Swahili learning lessons for free. Majda Dahmoun and Rania Al-Bahri.
Spoken by more than 200 million speakers spread over dozens of African countries, such as Mozambique, Malawi, or Kenya. Swahili is the most spoken language on the continent. On November 23, 2021, UNESCO proclaimed July the 7th the International Swahili Language Day every year.
Tumetangaza kufungua rasmi lugha ya Kiswahili leo.
This is the second time that the Tanzanian people celebrate this World Day. On this occasion, we open our doors to Algerians who attach great importance to learn languages. From now on, they can learn the language of Swahili for free at our embassy. The President of the Algerian Republic insists on inter-African cooperation. We hope that the Algerians will come in large numbers. Swahili is an African language which is spoken a lot in the countries of East Africa, like Tanzania, Kenya and Uganda. It is also spoken in Asian countries, such as Yemen. I took part in this event in order to highlight the beauty of Tanzanian traditions. Several Tanzanian and Algerian students took part in this event and highlighted the beauty of the traditions and the Tanzanian dances, such as the dance of Douala.
A lot of people celebrate together about the Swahili Day. The Swahili Day is international, so we are happy. We have enjoyed. A lot of people, they came. We have shown our dance.
Today we are commemorating the Swahili World Day. For us, it's very, very crucial and very important and emotional day for us and other people from Algeria and other nationalities, because Swahili for now is more than 10 countries in Africa.
Adopting Swahili as an official language in Tanzania is intended to be a communication tool that unites Africa and facilitates exchanges across the continent and the world.
The end of tonight's bulletin. Thank you so much for watching. Good night.